Life is good, it is good to me, and it was meant for you to live and be free, to live and be free.
Something came to mind the other day when I was just smiling and being happy. The people in my atmosphere that were witnessing my happiness, some of them seemed like they couldn't understand where all this joy was radiating from and why. Why does she get to be happy? At times, I don't think people entirely realize what goes into the process of acquiring happiness. And what I'd really like to focus on today is that happiness is a choice. It is an option. Happiness is something that takes effort. It is something that takes mental practice, and it is something that constantly needs to be worked upon. Happiness is not a permanent emotion. Just like anything else, happiness too can be temporary. And that is something we all must accept sooner or later, because that acceptance and realization of the Buddhist concept of impermanence is essential. Understanding that everything is temporary is an essential concept. And that's something to read about or to consider or to ponder, something that one must accept and must integrate into their life. In order to acquire happiness, one must make the conscious decision that happiness is a possibility. So if happiness is a choice, then we can then ask ourselves, what can I do to be more happy? Well, let's also ask ourselves, what do I allow to influence my life? And there are many things that influence our life. People, environment, media. It's really important to be very, very aware of these things. Do you surround yourself with people that seek peace of mind, that seek to be more intelligent, more understanding, more compassionate, more considerate? Or do you spend your time with people who perhaps disillusion themselves to run away from their pain, to run away from their fear? Do you have friends that want to go out and drink and have a good time, or do you have friends that want to sit over coffee and just talk about life and break it down and consider, what did I learn today? When I took my first step on a spiritual path, I was about 16 years old. And for the first 2 years, I went through severe depression because there were a lot of things that I had suddenly become aware of that I wasn't aware of before. And life at that moment for me had gained a certain heaviness and intensity. And it was overwhelming. But these were all things that I had to open myself up to and acknowledge in order to learn and in order to understand how to transcend these things that can serve as negative influences as well as distractions. For me, every day is also a struggle. Every day is a lesson. No day is the same ever. Every day I wake up and I have to make a decision. Okay, am I going to be happy today? Do I choose happiness today or do I not? And I think people sometimes look at me and they see me smiling, being all happy. And I think some people can genuinely appreciate it, and I think some do. And I think some are inspired by that, the same way that I am inspired by seeing other people happy. However, I think some people really do not understand. Why is she happy? Why not me? What am I doing wrong? I am so-and-so this age. I have done this and this in my life. I have gone through this and this. But it's really all about perspective. What will you allow to rent space in your head? That's something my friend Manuel always said. What is renting space in your head? You have the option to kick things out. You have the option to allow things into your world. For me, I'm not always happy. Of course not. Life can be difficult, sure. There are some lessons that are overwhelming. And there are some days where even though I'm learning, I'm just focusing on the lesson. I'm not focusing on, I want to be happy. No. Focus on what the present moment is trying to tell you. That's the idea. I try to be happy whenever I can. When I have joy, I embrace it fully. Some people may think I'm completely nuts because I seem so overjoyed. Back in high school, people used to think that I smoked pot because I was so happy. Like, how is this girl so happy? Happiness is possible, but only if you allow it to be a possibility. Only if you view it as so. In order to be happy, one must be a dreamer. I do not see any other option. I do not. To look at the world and its various facets and to accept everything you see as that's just the way it is, it's not going to make you happy. Sure, things like acceptance and surrender will help you gain a certain peace of mind. They will make you perhaps not as resistant to what you encounter. However, when one dreams, what becomes a possibility? But magic. And magic is more real than a lot of people realize. And it's beautiful. And it's here. And it's everywhere. And it's so within your reach that it is completely, profoundly insane. But life can be magic. The question is, will you allow this magic to enter your life? And as I'm filming this video, it was slightly raining. And now the sky is clearing and I see blue break through, and it's hilarious. But again, what will you allow into your life? The task for today that I have for you, my phenomenal and lovely audience, is to look in the mirror and start a conversation. Start a dialogue. Ask yourself, how am I feeling today? Ask yourself, what is it that I desire? Ask yourself, what am I willing to do to go about acquiring so-and-so things that I desire? Start a dialogue with yourself. If you seek peace of mind, if you seek happiness, if you seek understanding, if you seek clarity, if you want to be on a successful spiritual journey that will open your life in many ways, you need to start a conversation with yourself. It's not about the books you can read, even though the books are incredibly helpful and there are tons that I could recommend. It's not about the people you can listen to or the videos you find online, but these are pretty awesome, right? What's essential is to begin the conversation with yourself. If you want to get to know yourself, that's the first step. Start the conversation. If you like these videos, if you think they're fucking awesome, please like, please subscribe, and please do not hesitate to leave a comment and also start a dialogue with your fellow spiritual seekers. I highly, highly encourage that, and I'd be thrilled to see just people interacting and communicating in a very productive and awesome way. It would be most righteous. Peace and love as always, and be true to yourself. This is what I wear to keep my hair from getting wet. Sexy, right? Totally.